Good morning, everyone. So today I'm gonna talk about the cells of the lateral horn. And okay, and before I start, I would like just to uh, finish this sketch. Oh, okay. So here we have the transverse section of the spinal cord. So again, this is the anterior portion, and this is the posterior one. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna complete this one. Okay. Now we have here the spinal cord, and here you're going to see the horns of the spinal cord. Welcome, Shirley. So here we have the anterior horn, the lateral horn, and then the posterior horn. Okay, you have all these structures here. Lateral horn, and today we will learn a little more about the cells of the lateral horn. And thank you for staying here with me, guys. This one is the preganglionic fiber. Let me just do this one. And this is the autonomic ganglion. Okay, autonomic ganglion. And here we have the postganglionic fiber. Okay, from the lateral horn. Now, the lateral horn of the spinal cord. Okay, what contains actually? Contains autonomic neurons, which are part of the autonomic nervous system, and these neurons can be either sympathetic or parasympathetic in nature, and the fibers originating from these cells, okay, the fibers originating from these cells will exit the spinal cord through the ventral root. Okay, we have the ventral root and the dorsal root, and will exit the spinal cord through the ventral root of the spinal nerve as preganglionic fibers. Okay, preganglionic fibers. Okay, and these preganglionic fibers, this one will travel to an autonomic ganglion, which is this structure here, to the autonomic ganglion. Autonomic ganglion. Okay, so that can be either sympathetic or parasympathetic. Now, here is where the synapse will happen with the postganglionic neurons, which are here. Postganglionic neurons. I'm gonna put fiber. Okay, and the postganglionic fibers will carry signals to target organs and tissues, regulating involuntary functions such as heart rate, digestion, and sweating. Now, the lateral horn as you can see here, is located within the gray matter of the intermediate zone of the thoracic and upper lumbar segments, especially upper and lumbar segments of the spinal cord. So let me just write here the lateral horn. Okay. Here we have the lateral horn. Let me just do this. It's not the best way to label a structure, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use maybe a color pencil just to highlight the area. Okay, and the lateral horn houses the preganglionic neurons that are part of the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. Okay, this is the lateral horn. The preganglionic fibers will originate from the lateral horn and will exit the spinal cord via the ventral roots of the spinal nerves. Okay, I already mentioned this, but repeat to persist to learn. So, ventral roots of the spinal nerve. And these fibers, if you see here, you will notice that these fibers are relatively short compared with the postganglionic fibers, and they are also myelinated, which allows the let's say a quick transmission of the signals. So now we have this other structure here, that is the autonomic ganglia, and after exiting the spinal cord, the preganglionic fibers will travel to autonomic ganglia, which are collections of postganglionic neurons. This part here, yeah, thank you, Shirley. For the sympathetic division, these ganglias are typically located outside the vertebral column. Okay, and for the parasympathetic division, the ganglia are often closer to the target organs. So this is the autonomic ganglion. And then we have the postganglionic fibers. And the postganglionic fibers will arise from the autonomic ganglia here and will innervate the target organs and tissues. These fibers are generally unmyelinated and longer than preganglionic fibers, and they will contribute to slower signal transmission, but broader distribution, which is one of the features related with these cells. Now, clinically speaking, sympathetic nervous system. Let's talk about the sympathetic nervous system. So the lateral horn, will play a crucial role in regulating functions such as heart rate, blood pressure, and sweat production. And damage to this region usually leads to dysautonomia, characterized by symptoms like orthostatic hypotension, excessive sweating, or even dry skin. Parasympathetic nervous system. Well, although not directly housed in the lateral horn, understanding the preganglionic pathways, okay, will be essential for managing conditions affecting digestive, urinary, and reproductive functions. And usually spinal cord injury, such as trauma or disease, can affect the lateral horn and can disrupt autonomic control, leading to complications such as bladder dysfunction, bowel issues, and also cardiovascular instability. And yeah, there are a few methods of diagnosis, but I don't think that it's relevant to bring this information now Otherwise, it will be too much. It will be too much. And usually, treatment involves addressing underlying cause and managing symptoms through or pharmacological interventions, or even, and better, in my opinion, rehabilitation. Okay, but then it need to be discussed with the therapist. Uh, for me, I have a I already mentioned about my background: sports and science, physiotherapy. I would say that, and Chinese medicine, which is my, like, let's say, what I do more nowadays. I would say that doesn't matter the therapeutic approach. What matters is if it works for you. Okay, if it will be with a physio, chiropractor, osteopath, masseur, or if you choose another modality of therapy to address a specific issue related with and directly related with the lateral horn, doesn't matter the modality of therapy. What matters is if it works for you, great. Okay, and if it is in your budget, even better. No, usually we need to think in this way, especially nowadays with all these crazy things happening around the world. Not only in the UK, but also in other parts of the world. And yeah, this is what I wanted to share. Let me just finish this drawing. And what I would like to do here is just highlight the label areas. So I think that it's clear, no? Again, guys, if you want to understand all the, let's say, all this, if you want to understand more about this structure, I highly recommend you to go to my YouTube channel. I've been recording a series of lectures about neuroanatomy. So you are going to find valuable information there. I truly believe that the way that I'm sharing all these things is, I think that it's acceptable. We always have a room to improve. And let me just finish something here. Okay, this one I would like to highlight the preganglionic fibers. And then we have the postganglionic fibers. And why not highlight as well the autonomic ganglion? This is usually the way that I personally like to teach anatomy. I think that the anatomy is changing a lot nowadays, especially here in the UK. Well, it's my experience is based in what I've been seeing here in the UK. So anatomy is changing a lot, the way that they teach. Universities, sadly, are also removing the cadaveric dissection from medical schools, which is really bad, in my opinion. But again, I'm just a Brazilian guy trying to do the best here in this country. And my opinion might not be too important as others that hold numerous PhDs and post PhDs in the area. But personally, I believe that cadaveric dissection is essential for medical training, even physio training, chiropractic training. Yeah, I truly believe that should be essential. And even more, I would say that even Chinese acupuncture, the schools should have a really intense, let's say, students should have an immersion in anatomy, not only study from the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine. I studied from the most traditional, in the most traditional way, at the Neijing school, but I believe that even more knowledge about clinical anatomy is important to understand what you do. And well, it's not something that you are going to learn just in 2 years, like me. I'm doing the part-time. My master is a part-time, so I truly believe that when you work with health, when you work with therapy, you really need to take this serious and really need to dive deeper and and learn all the minimal details related with this topic that is the human body. And the human body is not the same. I would say that the human body, my anatomy might be different from your anatomy. Okay, especially because you can see this, just to give you an example, you can see this in Radiopedia. I think that this is the name. Yeah, might be this name, but is a website with data yeah, from different parts of the world, and with MRI, X-ray, other image modalities, that you can see the differences that they found and they have been finding in anatomy when comparing people, woman and man. Yeah, so even papers you can see, find something. But yeah, that's it. This is what I wanted to share with you. I hope you enjoyed this topic, as I always enjoy. If you are not following me, yeah, please consider to follow me, because I used to save like 15-20 minutes just to talk about this every day, and plus the other things that I have to do, and I would like to keep doing this. Yeah, and I will do this for sure. Even for me is a good training. And anatomy is something that I really love, especially when I think about functional and clinical anatomy. Okay, why? Because functional is related with what is in the real life, and then clinically is related with something that is not working properly. Okay, thank you guys. I'm gonna go now. Shirley, thank you for staying here with me, and I hope you all enjoyed the topic, and don't forget to follow me. Click the ring bell to receive notifications, because I will make lives like this every day at 9:30 a.m. UK time. And usually these lives I do lives like this for 15 to 20 minutes, not more than this, because as you notice, is a quite dense topic. You need to if I extend to more than 30 minutes, it will be too much. I already made some tests, and we usually start to disperse. Okay, and yeah, but if you have any suggestion, please drop me a message. Now I'm gonna go. Thank you. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.